Hello YouTube, it is Chris here, and in today's episode we are going to be discussing Hos Knives. So stick with me. Welcome back everybody, and thank you for sticking with me. Like I said, today we're going to be discussing Hos, or possibly Haus, knives. Now I know for you guys who follow me on social media, I have been teasing and hinting at this company for a while. And the reason why is because, as far as I know, these guys are brand spanking new. And my hope for this company, if they are of sound enough quality for their price point, and I'm going to be getting to that really shortly, is could these be the new Mora of folding knives? And that's what I'm really excited about, is because all of these knives are under 15 bucks a piece, every single one of them. What I did is, as soon as I got them out of the box, I took every single one and did some initial edge cutting. And as you can see, if I did edge cutting tests with all of these, I mean, that'd be a 7-8 minute video just by itself. So trust that I did actually do that to all of them. I was very curious to how these are. There's actually a few retailers who are friends of mine who my basically thumbs up or thumbs down is writing on this review. So I'm definitely going to be doing everything I can to give you guys a good solid quality review. And so to kick this off, as far as I am aware, from what I was told by the designers of Hos Knives, they are in Bentonville, Arkansas. They said that basically most of their models are made out of G10 and 8CR13 MOV. But overall, by the way, this model is called the Chilkat. Yeah, I'll go over that real quick. So these two, this one and this one, is called the Chilkat. This is the Colossus, the Recon, the Summit, Renegade, and the Kodiak. Now I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, the Kodiak, due to a few design features, I didn't like them as much as the others. And they're quick fixes, I believe, as soon as they get the designs down. And this is what's up. So I've never been a fan of the box cutter or the sheet belt cutter right there. Never been a super big fan. But if you can see right there, that's a hot spot. It's kind of sharp on both sides, and it hurts when you actually grip it in hand. It's not very comfortable at all. Now, these glass breakers seem pretty stout. They don't look like they're going anywhere. They feel pretty solid, but they had some hot spot issues to them. The G10 on the Summit is thicker, and it gives you more of a full hand feeling. But they actually chamfered and rounded off the G10, and they did it even over here too. That does not hurt at all. That is actually really sharp. So, as far as the comfort level goes for the Kodiaks, they are not my favorite currently as standing, and they came the most off center, and I'll show you that, is most of these actually came pretty decent. So as you look right here, this is the Colossus. That's not bad at all. That's how most of them came, and I was pretty excited about that, because I was like, oh wow, like freaking $9 knives that are coming centered. But as soon as I started opening up the Kodiaks, that's when it started falling apart on me. Jeez, look, they all came off-center, pretty off-center, just like that. And some of these knives do come a little tight, so if you have any pivot oil or anything to do that, I would definitely recommend it. And always, like with a lot of knives that I've seen, even higher-end ones, don't be afraid, start playing with them. And they use the Teflon washers. They're not using bronze or phosphor bronze or anything like that. Keep in mind, these are $10 knives. For the sake of the test footage, I'm picking the blades I like the most, because if these are the ones I like the most but end up performing the worst, you get what I'm at. So you get what I'm saying. So I've got the Chilkat here. This is the Summit, and that is the Colossus. So these are the blade styles that I personally like visually the most. Now, something I want to reference to you guys real quick is they all use a flathead pivot screw, which may or may not be a good thing. So for those who have common tools, you don't need anything like a star bit, or like, you don't need a T6 or a T8, any special tools. You can literally use any flathead screwdriver, and you should be good to go to adjust the pivot. I only had to adjust the pivot on one of the blades, because there was a little blade play. But oh yeah, I want to mention that too. So they use common pivot heads, the flat head, and almost all of these came rock freaking solid. So there was no blade play forward or back or side to side on these things at all. Like, they came solid as hell. And every single knife is deploying the liner lock because it is pretty much the most budget friendly locking mechanism that exists, period. So it's not bad. So these are the 3 knives that we're going to be testing. They just need to do some things at a decent pace that a normal knife should be able to do. And so far, the Colossus is showing itself to be decent. I mean, cutting cordage to me is a very basic task that shouldn't be too difficult, and if a knife can't do that, then why is the knife even being made in the first place? Now, something I'm also trying to keep in the realm of reality, which I hope all my viewers will too, is these are $9 knives. So I'm not expecting these things to start pissing excellence, if you know what I mean. So they're doing cordage just fine. So far, for very, very basic, simple things, they're doing a pretty good job. I can't be too mad at these. Not at all. They all come with a decent edge. They're not shaving sharp and going to, you know, blind you with their glossy finishes. I mean, don't expect, you know, something you're gonna get for $300. Keep in mind, like, all 9 of these knives put together cost $100, and the new 560 Freak I just picked up is $110 by itself. So let's keep that in perspective. So far, for basic tasks, these aren't doing bad. I'm not really mad at these. They're knives, they've got edges. They're technically doing what they're supposed to do, which is cut things. And I haven't had to retouch these edges up at all. These are straight from out of the box. Now, I do strongly feel that if I put them on a Worksharp or on a grinder, these things will become really devastating. And 8CR13 MOV does a pretty good job of holding a solid edge. I mean, I do believe that is the same steel that is on the Spyderco Tenacious. Alright, next up is slightly more difficult. This is seatbelt material. And the reason why it's more difficult is the fact that it is wider and thicker. And I do believe the material is a little tougher. There's a little bit of resistance, but it's not bad. It's nothing that if I needed this in emergency to cut a seatbelt, I'd be pissed off at or anything. Yeah. So far, for their price point, they're doing work. Oh yeah, that's right. The Summit is a little different than the rest of them. It's got a seatbelt cutter on it. So, let's pull it through. See what happens. I'm not even gonna edit that out. I had a tug, but it did cut. Of course I brought cardboard to the party. That'd just be rude if I didn't give them a chance to do real work. Now the thing is I'm not really giving them a workout. I'm just seeing if they're gonna do basic stuff. I need to know that if you need them to do everyday tasks, can they do them? 'Cause that's all I'm expecting for $10. I know this camera shot is not as awesome. I'm trying to keep everything in frame while doing it. So hopefully that camera angle will appease you guys after like, oh, the testing's freaking done. Yeah, this one's being snagged on a little bit. This is the Chilkat. Push cutting's okay. It's doing a good job. Yeah, it's not bad. Alright, so the next test, now these are all liner locks, is seeing how far, if at all, they can cut through 500 sheets of printer paper. Now, you know, with the blade with a proper edge, can do this no problem. And this is where the difference between a really good blade and an okay blade. Yeah, it's just it doesn't have the edge, and I didn't think any of them would. Wow. Yeah, the Summit's showing itself to be one of the best ones they've got in their entire line. I can blame that on the Tonto point though. You know what? I'll be nice with this one. I'll give it a fresh point to start off on. Come on. You can do it. Yeah. There's some potential there, but if I put this on a Worksharp, I think the Chilkat and the Summit would do a pretty good job. Okay, so they were okay. The Summit seemed to be the best, the sharpest one so far out of the 3 that I'm testing. Now we're gonna test the tip. And I got gloves on because these are liner locks. I don't trust them. So let's see how well they go. Not bad. So about that far in. Paper is really, really dense. I don't expect a lot as far as penetration. Now we got the Summit. It's more of a stout tip, but I'm not seeing any tip deformation at all, so that's good. Yeah, these are all going about the same, about a ½ inch in. Now I've got some cardboard that I decided to stack up from the stuff we've cut. Yeah, I knew we were gonna get better on that one. This one, yeah, picked up all but 1 layer, so we got some good penetration on that one. Next, we will do the Colossus. Now, even though it looks like everything is going through just fine and nothing's happening, if the liner lock had any issues and it was complete junk, I would start seeing slippages possibly. Oh yeah. So all 3 of them are good at stabbing, we'll say soft targets. So let's take this back inside and turn up the heat. Now, we'll give them slightly more difficult tasks, but due to their lack of a razor honed edge, these tasks could prove a little bit more difficult. Okay, so I know I time-lapsed that and some of you guys will be aggravated, but the cuts are overall pretty clean. They're not bad. However, the edges on these 2 are starting to slow down when the cuts got more difficult, because push cuts through hemp rope like that is not an easy task at all. So when you see a knife that can plow through it, it's doing a really good job. But the Colossus and the Chilkat, as the edge comes, did not do very, very super well. This one did the best out of all 3, the Summit. It's got a ridiculously nice point. It's probably got the sharpest edge out of the bunch, and what I like about this particular knife is because of the glass breaker, the seatbelt cutter, the deep carry pocket clip, the really sharp 90-degree spine for possibly lighting ferro rods, possibly a nice strong Tonto tip, and it's got the sharpest edge out of all of them. It seems like this design was possibly well, if the Kodiak doesn't work out, we'll use this one. But anyway, I like the Summit. The Summit seems to be the best, but I'm gonna go put on some gloves and we're gonna test the tip. Now, right off the bat, there will be a few people that might disagree with this test, but here's the thing. No one's ever touched these knives before, as far as I know. And with these being liner locks, these liner locks aren't super crazy stout. I don't know anything about the hardware that was actually used, like what grade of material they're using. And by doing tests like this, we're gonna put some torque on the pivot screw. We're gonna be testing the heat treat on the tip. It's gonna actually cover a lot of bases and let me know if there's anything structurally wrong internally. I'll find out really quick. What we have right now is the Summit. Nice. Nothing wrong with the tip. Still super pointy. No bending and warping. Still rock solid. Nice. So it's doing really good. I told you guys, this ended up being my favorite one, and it was the one I thought I was gonna like the least. No deformation, tip still pointy. Like a little bit of blade play formed, not a lot though. Yeah, that's not bad though. Like a little bit of blade play. Like there was absolutely none. I mean, it's like fractional. Nothing I couldn't just do like an eighth of a turn and probably completely fix that problem. Okay. This had the most acute tip out of all of them. I don't see any bending or warping. Still rock solid. So I gotta say, all in all, for knives that I wouldn't necessarily dare say are designed for having to tolerate some pretty abusive stuff like that, actually torquing on the pivot screw and jousting on the tip, they all did pretty darn well with. To test the glass breaker, due to the fact that this glass breaker is unique to the Kodiak and the Summit only. So this is tempered glass. So we're gonna see if the glass breaker can actually break it. Takes a little bit of work, but it'll do it. What can I say? Drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about these knives. These knives are $10. And so far, they're doing pretty well. Now, what I did with the sampling, and you're like, well, there's like 6 other knives left. Kinda. Because think about it, the Chilkat are those two. The Colossus, the Recon, and the Summit. Then there's the Renegade and the Kodiak. So when you break it down, there's only 6 total models. So I decided to test 3 of the 6 models to give a sampling. And if you guys are interested and want me to do more testing videos, I can break down the Recon, the Renegade, and the Kodiak for you really well. Something else I want to mention actually really quick is they actually are offering a 5-year warranty, which is something that I was pretty shocked at for a $10 knife. I don't know 400% what that covers. You're probably going to have to contact them and find out what that entails. I don't know if it's limited life or no questions asked. I'm not really sure, but that seemed pretty cool that they're willing to come out of the gate swinging with a 5-year warranty. But as I can say, for a $10 beater knife, well, $10 to $15. I think one of the random ones is like 15 bucks, but all the other ones are only like $10 a piece. I can say for a beater knife, I can recommend these. The lock mechanism technically didn't fail. So far they're holding up pretty well. Now keep in mind, I've only had these for a few days, and I'm only giving you guys initial impressions and testing footage that I've done, but I tried to give them a pretty solid workout. And if you want to learn and know more about these, I'm definitely going to be dropping a bunch of Amazon links down in the description box below for all of these knives. And by shopping on those Amazon links, if you choose to and you like these knives and you find these as a good beater option for yourself in an extremely budget-friendly category, these definitely do help support the channel. And they don't raise their end-user prices at all, but they help let us keep doing what we're doing. All of these knives put together cost $100, and you could spend $100 and get a buttload of knives that, as far as I can tell, will definitely do some work for you. And if you're not against doing just a little bit of sharpening, I think you're gonna have some pretty solid beater knives. I'm not gonna say these should, could, or would replace some higher end stuff. I have seen knives right off the bat. They would need possibly better hardware, maybe some better steel, and a much better edge right off the rip, but the heat treat doesn't seem off, the hardware doesn't seem horrible. I'm keeping in mind these are a $10 price point. So you guys can make that determination yourself. You can say, oh, you're full of crap or not. But you know what? As a beater knife, keep it where the term beater knife, you can I would definitely see these for people who can't afford bigger knives. These are knives that will definitely do some work for you in an everyday carry situation for sure. And you definitely need to like larger blades because these blades are not tiny. These are big old blades. These all have 4-inch blades on them. They're big honking pieces of steel. The edges on them could be a little bit better. The steel could be better, but I know a bunch of people who absolutely are enthralled by the Spyderco Tenacious, and as far as I'm aware, pretty much the exact same hardware and materials used to make that knife make half of these. So you're pretty much getting that level of quality minus the edge. The edge isn't there as well. The edges are okay. They're decent. They'll actually do some cutting off the bat. These were all out of the box, and they did still do pretty good amounts of work. But that just about does it for now. If you like this episode and you like Hos Knives and you want to let me do more of these videos for you, definitely throw this video a big thumbs up and share this out with your friends and family and your social media networks. And oh, I have a surprise for you. I am going to do a 6-knife giveaway for these knives. I'm going to keep a couple of them, but what I'm going to do is be giving away 1 Chilkat, 1 Colossus, 1 Recon, and 3 Kodiaks. So yes, to be able to be entered into that giveaway, there will be 6 winners. And to be entered into this giveaway, you must be a subscriber, you must comment on this video, you must share this video, and you must give a thumbs up to this video. That just about does it for now. I hope you guys have an absolute wonderful day. I'm out.